This is 2012 Kia Forte, and it belongs to a family friend, and they had a problem with random not starting. There's nothing worse than an intermittent problem. I mean, you can ask my parents. I was an intermittent problem. And the story is, the young lady was at the gas pump, filling up the car, went in the convenience store, bought some stuff, came out, and the car wouldn't crank, wouldn't start. After a little while of waiting and letting the car sit, it starts up and she goes home. Later that night, she goes to start the car again and it cranks, but it doesn't start. That's when they called me and asked if I could look at it. Now, I don't have any sophisticated scan tools. And with these cars, I mean, it could be anything. It could be crank position sensor, cam position sensor, mass airflow sensor, throttle position sensor, some module, park position sensor. It could be a whole host of things. So how do you diagnose this? The next morning, I go out, just about to leave the house to come and look at the car when she said, they got the car started. What do you look at? What do you start with? Well, what I started with was looking at grounds. You will meet a handsome stranger. So I got my baseline between the two battery terminals, and that's what established what kind of voltage I was dealing with. It now reads 12.87 or 12.88 volts. And then I went to the first chassis ground I could find, which is this one right here. And I got 12.88 volts. So I started looking for other chassis grounds. And I found one on the other side of the engine, right there, against the strut tower. And I tested that, 12.88. And where does that terminate? But down there at the motor mount. And again, 12.88. So I started looking for more chassis grounds. I came over to this strut tower, and there was two different grounds, both that run to the PCM. The first ground, this one, 12.88. The second one has about 4 other grounds attached to it. When I got a reading on there, I only had 12.2 volts. 0.6, more than half a volt of voltage I was losing here, and there was some corrosion on that terminal. So I took that terminal off, cleaned all 4 of those blades, put them all back together, took another reading, I got the 12.88 volts, and the car starts right up. Now I let the car get cold, completely cold engine. Here's the exhaust manifold. All right. So you're going to see with me in real time whether we fix the problem. Will this car start? And it starts right up. No hesitation. So did we fix the problem? I don't know. Time will tell. Let's try it again. Key completely out. Back in. Starts right up. Let's try it again. Key out. Not touching the gas pedal or anything. See if it'll start now. Starts, idles at a pretty good 900 RPM, no check engine lights. It might be fixed. Again, time will tell. Well, I hope you found this video helpful. When I was doing research for this, I found this a pretty common problem with Kias, and it cuts across all models, from the Soul to the Sorento to the Forte. One person told a story of coming out of work, ready to go home. They go to start the car, it doesn't start. But by the time the tow truck gets there, the car starts. And there's nothing more frustrating than a random problem. The forums are filled with people trying to fix this problem, or their mechanics trying to fix it, with what I call RES, random expensive sensors, just chucking different sensors at the car, to replacing batteries, to new starters, only to have the problem come back again. If you look at that ground that I showed you, it may not even be obvious there's corrosion there. You have to take that apart, all 4 of those connectors, and look in between to see the corrosion. And take a wire brush and clean it, put it back together, put some dielectric grease on it, and that may do it for you. So as always, if you like this video, I wouldn't admit it to anybody I respected. And you can ring the bell or subscribe, but again, I wouldn't recommend it because you'll just encourage me. You don't want that.